your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers. Good morning, viewers. This is the Tobago Updates morning show coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. It is, what we would call, it's not just Christmas Eve just yet, but some say it's the eve before in terms of heading on in. Welcome to the Tobago Updates morning show. As we continue to give God thanks for life, I am Julian Skeet.
And I am Maria Richardson George. And this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning to Tobago. Good morning, Trinidad. Those of you in the Caribbean and those of you viewing us on the live, good morning, good morning, good morning. Season's greetings. Merry Christmas to all of you out there.
Friday, the 23rd of December, 2022. Ria, can you imagine the year is almost over? Excited at that as we approach the Christmas, specific to the Christmas, well, I have to say now, weekend celebration.
Long weekend.
Yes, the very long weekend, important to note. So given that Christmas Day is now falling on Sunday, and Boxing Day on the Monday, which is usually a holiday, normally the Boxing Day.
In the Caribbean.
In the Caribbean, indeed. Now persons will also be getting Tuesday, as has been officially declared for some time now. Tuesday the 27th will also be recognized as a holiday here in Trinidad and Tobago. And for this, we are thankful. We are thankful
We are
indeed.
I think well deserved.
Exciting times ahead. All right, viewers, we head on over to news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Julian and Ria. I am Candace Jackson, and here is your news in 90 seconds for Friday, 23rd December 2022. A British Virgin Islands judge unfroze the bank accounts of the directors of Original Canopy Tours Enterprises Limited, according to a statement from the directors on Thursday. In November, the Tobago House of Assembly received 2 freezing orders against OCT directors Richard Graham and Derek Hernick in Trinidad and another in BVI. The freezing orders were sought by the THA ahead of its lawsuit for US $417,000 for an alleged breach of contract in the zipline project planned for the Main Ridge Rainforest Reserve. The company denied any wrongdoing and hopes to clear its name very soon. In other news, Chief Secretary Farley Augustine declared January 1st, 2023 as a day of prayer for Tobago. The declaration came from a suggestion by a member of the public at a recent town hall meeting in Plymouth, who recommended that more emphasis be placed on prayer in Tobago. As a result, Augustine accepted the suggestion and stated that the first of every month would be dedicated to prayer, starting on January 1st. Tobagonians were encouraged to spend some time in prayer for the island, whether in Tobago or elsewhere. And nationally, the Met Office issued a warning of an orange level hazardous sea alert starting today. The advisory indicated that choppy conditions are expected over the next few days, with waves getting as high as 3.5 meters near the shore. Conditions will also be magnified during high tides. Impacts include dangerous conditions for swimming and small craft operations, very high surf, and dangerous rip currents near affected coastlines. All marine interests are advised to exercise extreme caution while venturing out, as a loss of life is extremely likely. And that was the news in 90 seconds. It is back to you, Julian and Ria.
Thank you very much there, Candice. And, I'm Candice doing that, Ria, you and I touching on the white more than the red. And Candice is bringing in that green there in the mix. We'll chat with Candice later on this morning. This is Friday in the lineup to Christmas 2022. By now, I'm certain some are doing their last minute shopping, getting things in place.
For those who have money.
Yes.
Got the money.
You've got some mere hours to go to get all those deals and so on. I trust that for the benefit of, particularly a number of those vendors and persons on the outside there doing sales and so on, that things would have picked up. I know there was some, initial concerns raised in relation to the response coming out from the general public. Some people even indicating, I prefer to put my funds this year into some meals
That's right.
and food stuff, and not necessarily going with the usual kind of excess.
The traditional expenses of curtains,
correct.
etc.
And then I hear someone the other side saying, boy, I'm drinking and eating my belly full, long I ain't get to come outside for Christmas. So it's certainly that kind of combination happening in this space. Ria, your thoughts in terms of the Day of Prayer, as announced recently by our Chief Secretary, January 1st, and then my understanding is that continuing the 1st of every month, calling on Tobagonians and those connected to Tobago to pray wherever you are out there in the world, but really a day of collective kind of prayer that happens each month. As remembering, of course, we encourage persons to pray for your country and your island all the time.
Yeah.
But certainly a focused kind of collective prayer happening in and around. What are your thoughts?
I have to say that I applaud this initiative. I think churches the land over, a lot of churches do this on a regular basis. But to have this call being made by the Chief Secretary, I think it's excellent. Wherever you are, whatever space you have to spend time in prayer. We look at, in fact, we're facing, Julian, a very different time, a very different season, a time in our lives that we've never experienced before. We have been experiencing, in fact, if 2022 is any gauge for what is to come, you're not sure. There's a bit of instability. Things are a bit unstable because you really don't know what to expect. So why worry when you can pray? That's a song my daughter used to sing years ago. Why worry when you can pray? So we don't know what tomorrow holds, but certainly it's going to be okay once you know who's holding your hand. And once God is holding your hand, you're going to be okay.
Certainly, and it's important for persons to, really pay close attention to that. I had the opportunity, even yesterday, went into the latter part of the night, doing some, in relation to my NGO work, and that's Rotary and Interact Southwest Tobago, doing some handing out of hampers. And, I must say I met a beautiful lady in the Signal Hill area. Where we would have gone, and I did a delivery to send some joy. And we had a conversation that went on for about 15, 20 minutes. Well, it's me, Ria, so I had no problem when it comes to throwing in a conversation and catching up on some old talk. And this is someone I was meeting for the first time. And her reminders and encouragement as young persons to remember to pray and to trust God. There's going to be a light around the corner, even when things are challenging. I left it there. I think more inspired than the joy that I might have attempted to bring to her, by way of some grocery items and a hamper, courtesy Rotary and Interact Southwest Tobago. And it was really encouraging for me. Just hearing that conversation. Laverne joined me in the drop-off, and I am sure she and all would have been in the same spirit and in the same tone. And really, that just spoke to and reminded me, in the midst of all the celebrations, let's remember the reason for the season in terms of the birth of Jesus Christ, and also family, that family connection being so critical as we celebrate the season.
Julian, and yesterday in Scarborough, we're going to get to our birthdays. I see our camera, it's on the side,
It's that kind of morning. It's that kind of morning.
But yesterday morning, I saw Mr. Stanford Calendar.
Yes.
It's been a while since I've seen Mr. Calendar, for a very, very long while. But when I saw him yesterday, I felt a little bit emotional. Mr. Calendar looked so good. He looked so good. I shook his hands. He smiled and a real Stanford calendar smile. You know, the charming grin. You know what I'm talking about, there, viewers. Yes, you know it. But it was really good to see Mr. Calendar, and I felt it was heartwarming to see him, albeit he was there paying some bills and stuff, you know, doing his own transaction. But it was good. It was really good to see him. So I said this morning I would send out some kudos to him, you know, just to recognize him and, you know, all that he's done, as well, to wish him season's greetings, him and his family, season's greetings, and wish him all the best for the season as well. Carlos Dillon and Auntie Picky, good morning to you guys. Good morning. I know, watch me. One, she said, Ria, you don't miss the show. One is in this bedroom, one is in that bedroom, but the television is on and they are watching the show every single morning. So good morning to you guys.
Yes, and I know I'm so thankful for that. I remember meeting up with Auntie Picky at an event. Morning. Merry Christmas, season's greetings to you, Auntie Picky. And she says to me, it don't matter what room I'm heading into, I'm making sure throughout the house I am hearing and I'm tuning. So we want to say morning and shout out to you. It's Christmas, you know, we're heading into that Christmas spirit. So we're going to continue because we have got another one in the mix that I met yesterday as well.
Who?
Active supporter. Are you familiar with Bernadette Solomon Karoma, our former chief administrator? And I want to shout her out this morning.
Good morning.
I saw her yesterday, you know, and we had a conversation. I said, but Mrs. Karuma, you're looking even more relaxed now.
I tell you something. There's a different
in this stage of life.
There's a different aura after retirement.
She replied to me and said, "Of course, I make sure my feet are up and I'm drinking my tea on a morning and make sure and tell Ria hello for me." So this morning we're sending a shout out to Mrs. Bernadette Solomon Karoma, former chief administrator, certainly for the continued love and support for the Tobago Updates morning show.
And we're getting into things, Mr. Director. We're getting into things. But just to let you know, Julian, one of our avid viewers who views the program from Queens, New York, every single morning, is home in Tobago.
Wow.
And that is Auntie Dora Lyons. Good morning to you. And I'm hoping that before she returns, she's going to visit us here on the Tobago Updates morning show. Don't worry, Auntie Dora, we're going to organize it.
Good morning, Auntie Dora. Good morning, Auntie Dora. We certainly look forward to that. But viewers, at this point, we're heading on into our birthday celebrations for today. It's Friday, the 23rd of December, 2022.
All right. So we've got a birthday there coming out, going out this morning to Ricardo Taylor. Good morning. I know this gentleman, a gentle giant, they refer to him as. Good morning and happy birthday going out to you this morning. Big Show. Big Show, that's the name. Okay, Big Show. Ricardo Taylor, love going out to you. Yeah, and then we've got Neil Suku. Neil Suku celebrating his birthday. Neil, love going out to you this morning. Happy birthday from the Tobago Updates family. We trust that you have a really great one. We've got Karen Showtime Macmillan. Good morning, happy birthday going out to you, Karen. I wish you should call in and do it. You know, we should sing. We should sing for you. You should sing for us. I know you're a big singer. All right, but happy birthday going out to you. Have a really great one today, Karen. We've got Kamisha Leith. Kamisha Leith celebrating her birthday today. Kamisha, we trust that you have a great one and lots of love going out to you from all of us here at Tobago Updates.
And we have on screen, this appears to be Shamika Dinoon in all her elements, wishing you a happy birthday.
Yes.
Shamika Dinoon out there. We trust that you enjoy the birthday celebrations coming from the entire Tobago Updates family.
All right, and we've got a lovely little lady here celebrating her birthday, and this is this is Miss Haricia G, or is it G? Happy birthday from her mom, aunties, uncles, and cousins. So love you so much, Haricia. Okay, we trust that Haricia has a great one. Haricia, we would sing for you. You know, Julian would sing for you this morning if the time would permit, but I can always do backup for him. I trust that you have a great
I would not want to bring any rain here today. Hosting may be my thing. I haven't always extended it to singing. At least only singing when the music is well above my song level. so that way you don't actually hear my voice in the mix. But we want to send a happy birthday shout outs going out to each and every one of you celebrating with us indeed. And a viewer just sent for me the updates to remind me very clearly, Rhea, in terms of that today is referred to and is normally called Christmas Adam, seeing that Adam came before Eve. All right, so certainly, thank you very much indeed out there. Thank you very much for that connection. So today is Christmas Adam, seeing that Adam came before Eve. All right, in terms of that connection. And this morning, a beautiful, interesting times ahead. Morning to you, Candace. How are you doing?
I am great. Just excited for Christmas. Excited for the break too.
So we see. I wonder what exactly is she excited? Candace, what exactly are you excited
about? What's Christmas like for you?
Because well, for one thing, Christmas is a break from work.
At your house, go ahead.
Because it's a break from work where I could sit down in all my decorated glory. So because I'm a Christmas baby, because I love Christmas, I love to decorate and all that stuff. I like to make my at least my living room area. Don't talk about the rest of the house, but at least the living room area, Christmas Wonderland, and just sit down, drink some coffee, and watch some movies.
She's got to have that coffee. Yeah, she's
got to have the coffee. Yeah. Got to have the coffee with some cinnamon in it.
Go ahead.
Yep, and just take in or read some books. Actually, I have a pile of books to read. So, and I mean, I'm on a break from classes and so on. So I can actually read for fun.
Definitely a plus.
Yes. I can read for fun now. So yeah, I'm just looking forward for the break and just some downtime.
All right.
Rhea, what's Christmas usually like for you? Yeah. Probably that meal, that item.
So I'll tell you this. We usually, most of the times, it's church on a Christmas morning. But when there's no church on a Christmas morning, it is breakfast. And now I grew up having, at my parents' home when we were younger, we would have meals at the table. We grew up having meals at the table, okay? Set table, everybody sit and eat and laugh and talk. That's how we did it. So, of course, with my family, we do the same thing. So we have breakfast, and it would be ham and bread. I'll tell you this, pastels is a must, okay?
Definitely.
Any kind of tea. I mean, I'd appreciate the chocolate tea, but pastels from my father's house come down. Pastels is a must. My siblings, Kim, Eric, pastels is a must for us. Now, you must have the chow chow on the side, and I'll tell you, Marilyn Cowie Clark, the absolute best that I've tasted this side of life, okay? Chow chow. You must have your chow chow. You got fruits on the table, etc., a little juice, a little water, that kind of thing. But lunch is at the table. So we spend the day actually cooking. My husband loves the drapes pulled because he loves the house dark. Yes, not light and flurry. Thick curtains because he likes to curl up and watch a movie. And while he's watching
I think that's
movie,
one of the best moments, So just not have that cozy feeling.
Yeah, but sometimes I just like a little peep of light, but it's really cozy. It's really cozy.
The peep of light is the Christmas lights.
Yeah. Oh Lord, yes, definitely.
Lover, you see, you're hearing these ladies here. Lover of the light. What is it? A peep of light?
I mean, it has twinkling lights all over the place.
Right? No, we got a peep of lights.
The lights are just the Christmas, the fairy lights. Yeah, I mean that's all you need, and some candles.
Yeah,
that's
very interesting.
Definitely.
Remember the candles? There's some nice scented candles. From
very
local
interesting.
Go ahead, Candace, for listening. Go ahead,
Candace. You go with this, Candace.
It set the mood.
I'm wondering what kind of mood, because I'm thinking
a relaxing mood.
In the middle of the day? Are we talking, Candace, are we talking candles at night? Are we talking candles in the day? Because
it can happen anytime, day or night. That is why you have the curtains block out all the outside lights and make it nice and dark. And
we got you, Candace. We all got you, Candace.
This is the point. This is the point where I dive in. These are the views of Rhea Richardson George and Candace Jackson only. Not Tobago updates.
Talk about Aquarium But Julian and Candace, just to let our viewers know this morning that our phone lines are currently opened. Our phone lines are opened. And Julian, the numbers to call are?
It's Christmas morning. The numbers to call are 284-6597. That's 284-6597. Let's hear about your thoughts in relation to Christmas as we look forward to Christmas Day coming up this weekend. You can contact us at 284-6597. While we wait on that connection, as I said to persons, Christmas Day for me has always been more day very connected with immediate family.
Yeah.
Immediate family and so on. To the extent that, some of my friends and colleagues know you can check me anytime from Boxing Day, but Christmas Day is usually,
that's how...
that kind of devoted time in and around where I'd be between my house, my aunts, my grandmother, that family connection in the mix. And it's really an opportunity to be able to connect, as Candice said, very much so. Christmas is one of those don't like to have a scheduled day.
Yes.
So we get out and we enjoy breakfast. And if I feel to leave home at 9, at 10 or 11 to connect in terms of heading to the next family household, we move with the time and we flow with the time accordingly. And therefore, that's kind of like one of those few days that I have in the year where there isn't a set schedule for the flow. But we certainly look forward to that, and I do. Most definitely as part of the Christmas season and celebration. And then obviously, for the younger ones, it's all about the gifts.
Yeah, it's all about gifts. In fact, for the younger ones and some of us older ones, we still look forward to it.
It's all about the gifts.
It's about. I mean, it's about gift giving. You still look forward to that because of the tradition. But at the end of the day, I think the older we've grown, we've realized that it really is about connecting with family, people, the people that you love, having them around. And something happens. I mean, you saw them yesterday, but something happens on that day. They seem brighter. You seem a little bit cheerier. You seem happier. You seem a lot more loving and giving, but I mean, yes, we should be that way all year round.
Indeed. And again, to remind our viewers, the phone lines are open. It's the Friday before Christmas, and we are connecting. We are connecting with each and every one of you out there.
All right, but while the phone lines are open, we're going to be chatting in a little while with John Arnold. In fact, he's on with us right now.
Yes.
John Arnold is going to be joining us this morning.
Good morning to you, John Arnold.
Morning to you, morning to all of you.
Okay, we're not hearing.
So, John is on now. Go again first, John.
No, I said good morning to both
Chairman,
of you.
Good morning. John Arnold, Chairman of the Tobago Festivals Commission, is on the program with us, and he's going to chat with us on year-end review coming from the Festivals Commission.
I suspect he wants to be more in a relaxed kind of going. Don't worry, leave that for Christmas morning. Go ahead, sir.
No, I was just saying, I'm not the chairman, by the way. I'm the CEO of the company. The chairman is, I just want to make sure that we all have all those things correct.
The right hand, hats on the correct hands, yes.
I'm not chairman at all. I'm just the CEO, humbly doing my work, keeping the health of the organization. But go ahead. You go ahead. Ask me what you were asking me.
So we speaking Christmas, as we look into this year and what the year has been for the Tobago Festivals Commission. From where you sit as CEO, how would you rate that operational side in terms of on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, I would tell you 11. Because really and truly, we really worked really hard this year. As a matter of fact, I said to the EMT this week that I really want to applaud all of them for rising to the occasion on every single event we had this year coming out of COVID and going real and live and physical events. And we have had to do, what I call agile leadership as we move within the space. And I think that every single person worked really hard. We had a wonderful Blue Food, a great heritage. We had a great Tobago Carnival, and we're now preparing for next year, We have some new festivals and so on. We're discussing, and we hope that all the ducks line up to make things really work for us. On a personal note, for me, this year was great. I have to say that because there's some projects that I got off the ground. The Tambourine Jazz project, the Tambourine Meets Tabla project, the Lord Nelson concert in Trinidad, and then recently I published my book, the memoirs. So for me, it's been a great year. I had one surgery, one keep back there, but beyond that, it's been great, and I'm looking forward to just having a relaxed Christmas. Relaxed.
All right. No, we're happy to hear that. Ooh. All right, we're happy to hear that there, John Arnold. As we look forward to 2023, give us an idea of, how you see things rolling. In fact, just before we get there, honestly speaking here, coming out of the pandemic, when you look at how 2022 went, because we're just about to the end of it, does 2022 surpass your expectations coming out of the pandemic? What are your thoughts on that? I mean, there might have been one or two hiccups. You indicated that we had a great season, Heritage, Carnival, etc. But did it exceed your expectations?
Yes, I would say yes. If I was to go on one of yes or no, I will go on the yes side. I think we were able to see the resilience that was displayed in 21, and I think we were able to see many many wins. One of the things, just last night, I was talking to an entertainment manager at a hotel. And when we were going through the list, because they're having a problem finding entertainers now, it's amazing how many entertainers we lost. And I didn't even realize till she was going through the list of how many people during that COVID period we lost. Groups change. For example, Pleasure Pirate lost Mike Duncan, a key aspect to that. All right. There's several other persons who are no longer in the space. So I think in moving forward, what I see is a whole heap of fresh new talent that will now kind of come to the fore, and it's going to be diverse, it's going to be different. And I also see 23 as the year that's going to make a big difference, right? I think creators are going to get more money next year. I think the industry is going to open up. We saw in the concert just last week, I had my concert, very good turnout. People are hungry for entertainment, quality entertainment. And I think you would see more productions from the creative community next year, and more events. And I think you would also see more festivals. Generally, I think 23, 22 is going to be like the jump off, but I think 23 is going to be really good.
Okay.
John Arnold, would you say that there's certainly what you would describe as a larger speech, so a larger reach or greater opportunities now for persons in the creative industry to thrive and to be exposed within Tobago and even going out there in terms of further representation on behalf of Tobago?
Yeah. I think, well, let me answer that two part. One of the things I think hybridization is now key. For example, the concert we had last week had a pay-per-view element to it. You pay 20 US and you can get to see the show, those in the diaspora, those outside. And even after the show is finished, you also put up the video on what is called video on demand. All of these elements are going to speak to how the future is going to be. If we're doing jazz, it can't just be jazz physical. We've also got to look at that in context of the hybridization model. How do we also have that streamed, right, for pay-per-view, right? And even after that, how do we get revenue from video on demand, with a cheaper fee coming out of that? So I see that as the way going forward. I don't think that anybody can get away from that. And anybody who's thinking of doing an event and not thinking of it in that way certainly would be losing out on the kind of revenue that's available to do that. Also, I think because to answer your question directly, uh, my God, you know your name slipped me, right?
Yes, Julian, that's fine.
Oh, Julian, yes, Julian, right. Yeah,
Clearly,
Julian
you
handled me.
started this Friday morning with something stronger than that cup.
No, only tea, only tea, only tea. Yeah. No, it happens, you know. It was right there and I can't find it. Yeah.
Don't worry, it happens to all of
It
us.
happens, it happens.
John,
All
it
of us,
happens
yeah.
to all of us. It happens to all of us over a certain age. Not Julian. It doesn't happen to Julian. All of us over a certain age. Go ahead.
Some
I know
of us
some
would say
great
in
birthdays,
studio,
so
John, you
don't
had a
worry.
real moment there, but carry on.
Yeah.
You could get away with that the Friday before Christmas.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think because of the networking opportunities and the chances for people to mix and match with other people, this is the age of collaboration, right? This is the age of collaboration. I think the representation part, that's what you're going to see happening. All right. Um, my choir just did a track for a road march contender with Preacher and another calypsonian out of New York called CJ. And the point I'm making is that is where you will see a lot of the collaborations taking place as groups and soloists and what have you continue to do that kind of mix and match and send new products out into the market space. So I think in terms of representation, I think you would see much more of that taking place in 2023.
All right.
Well, Mr. Arnold, we also saw that, as we're talking about expanding and, growing in the creative space, you just released your own book. I mean, tell me about that experience and, just venturing off into that way and even inspiring more of us in the creative sector to, to try other avenues such as book writing.
Um, well, the memoirs, I mean, as one person said, the purpose of the memoir was really about making a statement about things that can certainly become part of history and documented part of how things happen. And I mean, in the book, it tells you some great stories about how things happen in Tobago in the event landscape, how the jazz start, some of the background information on that. It tells you a bit about me, how music became so much a big part of me. It tells you a lot about an institution, Signal Hill Alumni, tells you a lot about education, some of the experiences I had in that. So I think it's a nice potpourri that brings together some very good historical facts that 100 years from now, people can reflect and say, hey, this is what happened during that time. And certainly I hope that it so far from all the reviews, it seems to be good reading and, encourage people to go get a copy of it. But those of us who've been in town for a long time have some real great stories to do. And because I'm also in academia, it becomes kind of easy to continue the writing thing. So I want to do that some more.
No, I love the fact that I always get to call you John, on
That's all
air.
right.
And outside of, the studio and outside of work, I say Mr. Arnold. But John, John, let me ask you, what was it about your life that made you feel that you needed to write this book? What was it about your experiences or the man John Arnold himself that made you say, this is what I want to leave behind. This is what I want people to know about me. What was it?
Well, I've heard people say the John Arnold.
Yes.
Right. So if somebody is going to say the John Arnold, then clearly there must be something about that icon or whatever you want to call it that probably has stories to tell. But basically, I'm pretty cool and humble. I don't really need the praise. What I really want to do is really pass on, and I will teach freely. I would pass knowledge on freely, and that is how it has been. And there have been many firsts in my life, several firsts for Tobago because I've kind of dedicated myself to Tobago. So I think the real question is really what does the stories or what does John Arnold's life story bring to the fore for Tobago? And I think that's a better way I would prefer to say it because I think that is what I've lived my whole life doing, trying to build Tobago and do things for Tobago.
You know, and it's interesting that you've mentioned that aspect. You have done, you know, an amazing job in terms of the alumni choir and so on in your private capacity. Similarly, you know, we have the Lincoln Warners and so with musical amateur. How important do you feel it is for this element to really progress where it is, you know, private groupings recognize their critical role also in building out the creative industry? We speak to the Arlene Daniels, you know, in terms of the rhythmic vibration and so on, and the Cheryl Duncans, Youth Quake, and all these entities that have really, you all have put sweat, you've put your personal resources, extra effort, passion. How important is that in terms of going forward and going on with the build out of our creative industry?
Well, I think for the choral and the dance movement and all that, and because I'm associated with the creative TT board and so on, those are all great things and they all contribute. I think what we need is to be quite candid. What we need is the kind of will that will say we are serious about diversification with the creative sector, not just in talk, but in putting the money in the investment to move it, right? If you look at the South Korean model, it was a government and everybody who said, hey, we want to have this Hallyu effect in 15 years, what we call soft power, and we want to build our society out as to be known in 15 to 20 years as a great creative place. And that's what they did to get Korean pop, K-pop, all of that out. But those were serious decisions to invest the money to have film, fashion, music, dance, everything to move as one. All right. And I think we in the sector have to do our work. And I'm now seeing more people creating productions. I just went to a production at Chopak with Dr. Thomas and Akisia. We want to see more of that, right? We want to see earlier Tipa did the play, which was popular and so on. We need to see more of that, more productions, more creative, but we also need the support from below, which is the financial support to help some of the groups and help everybody move this thing forward. It just can't be talk. Yeah.
All right.
Yes, definitely.
And we're frozen. Okay. I just realized neither one of us was asking a question, but John, what would be your Christmas message? What would be your Christmas message to to the viewers out there, even from your position at Festivals Commission and Tobago as a whole? These are your people. These are you would have left definitely, but not left, but been leaving your footprint within the creative sector for a number of years. In fact, I can recall just a few years ago, attending Signal Hill Secondary, and at that time, yes, there was the Signal Hill Alumni Choir. And before even attending Signal Hill, you know, you heard about the Alumni Choir wherever you went in Trinidad, wherever, and then you came, and they were just having met all of you people. But you know, you look back at all that you have been able to do. What would be your Christmas message to people, the island over, the world over?
Yeah, I just want to wish everybody a great Christmas. For people, it means several things: family, fun, toys, joy, eating. For me, I just like the black cake. That's my main thing. And ginger beer, I like those two. But for me, Christmas is not a day that I necessarily do anything that's Christmassy. I basically relax and do some work that I need to do. And I want to wish everybody a great Christmas, and looking forward to 2023. Want to wish everybody a really progressive, thoughtful, and creative 2023. That's it for me and from me.
Thank you very much there, Mr. John
Thanks for having
Arnold.
me.
Yes, thank you
Always a pleasure.
for joining us after that cup of, what did you say, coffee this
Yeah,
morning?
that's green tea. And,
Mint tea. And
yeah,
that must have been a strong cup of mint tea, but that's okay. It's the Christmas Adam, as some say, as we head into Christmas Eve.
I mean, the only thing
I
the
suppose
only thing I want to wish
this is going to take you very nicely into the 4-day timeout.
the only wish I want to wish personally for Rhea is that next year she would really move to the stage of having the vocal ability to sing. That's all I'm wishing. All right.
John Arnold.
Speaking it into being. Speak it into being.
It's been a long time coming, but I feel 2023 is a year, Rhea. All right. Looking forward to you. Bless.
I strongly suspect that as well. Viewers, you have heard it. You have heard the call there. Rhea Richardson George and John Arnold have spoken it into being, those vocals to come forward in 2023. Certainly having a light conversation there with John Arnold, CEO of the Tobago Festivals Commission. Very, very, very kind of, I like the energy.
Definitely.
It's certainly a lighter side of John Arnold.
Definitely. No, Candace and Julian, here's what. I'm really good at background vocals. Not even really good. I'm kind of okay at background vocals. But here's what. Do not change the key suddenly. Do not change the key suddenly, because I'm going to have to be fighting to get there. Now, my family is musically inclined. My daddy plays the keyboard. My brothers, 2 of my brothers, that is. My sisters sing,
I think
lead.
I see a message coming in from Oswald George.
My husband as well. My daughter says, hey, look who we got on set with us.
Popped in on Christmas Adam, the Friday. Before we head on into our Christmas Day celebrations, good morning to you and welcome to the Honorable Chief Secretary, Farley Augustine. Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. Glad to be here with you all. Everybody look like you're prepped for Christmas already, like your curtains done hang, your cake done bake.
Watch me, look, we've even got candy canes. We've even got candy canes in hand, okay?
I'm going to hold him to a commitment. I'm going to put him on the spot. We know that you're a baker. Are we getting a public commitment for some cake on Christmas Day?
I'll ensure you have black cake on Christmas Day.
Excellent. I'm holding you to that.
And I heard that the fruits have been soaking for how long?
About 3 years I haven't baked. So don't worry, it'll be good stuff.
That's right.
Certainly looking forward to that. If without going into all the possible aspects immediately, you were to give yourself a rating for this first year within a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate yourself in this year?
As in office.
Correct.
I'll pitch us at about a 7. 7, which is good, and 7, which means that there is room for improvement. 7 means that there are some things we could have done better. 7 meaning that I expect the team to dig in their heels and do a lot more. Granted, there is plenty of work I'm demanding from the team, considering all that we have been able to accomplish in 1 year. I could rattle off some of the things from cataract surgery to increased salaries for 3 groups of people. We could talk about the largest intake of equipment for agriculture and for farmers. We could talk about the fact that we already pay WASA for water for Corland farmers there, Belmont farmers there, electricity for farmers going into Gosbro. We could talk about the food hub. We could talk about the first indigenous carnival. We could talk about the largest school repair program that is about 23 million. We could talk about the largest home improvement grant, $10 million. We could go on and on and on. But I'm saying I want the team to keep thinking we can do better, which means that we always at a place where we are willing to dig in our heels and do more, just do more. And yes, I have secretaries that work extremely hard, extremely long hours, and their private lives suffer. And of course, I'm ensuring we're working on the work-life balance, which is important because you don't want people to suffer from burnout or to become emotionally unstable from not having that efficient work-life balance. And it's one of the reasons why I said to the team that come January 2023, we will make available to members of the executive members of the team things like counseling and just to ensure that work-life balance is there. But we're ready to put in even more work than it did in 2022. But we're just so grateful. It's just so grateful for all the privileges that we have had, and the fact that this beautiful dream continues. This is a remarkable privilege, and we can't stop thanking Tobagonians for this privilege. We just have to keep thanking Tobagonians. What are the odds? What are the odds that an island will say we will bet on newbies, on young people? And it doesn't happen every day. It doesn't happen in every society. And I am so grateful that I live on an island that is extremely progressive. It only takes a progressive island for this to happen. I don't think this is even remotely possible in Trinidad. May not even be possible in a borough corporation, much more at the national elections level. But and so we remain grateful. It's only possible in few Caribbean territories where we saw Grenada try a thing. But it is it is rare. This privilege is rare, and I keep reminding the team that it's something we must be eternally grateful and humble about.
Right now, Chief, this administration, your administration, has seen a lot of firsts. We are also seeing here that you are the first chief secretary to be having to be expanding your family in office. I stand to be corrected, but to be expanding your family while in office. We are expecting the first baby Augustine very soon while in office. How are you balancing work and I mean, baby Augustine is not here yet, but of course you've got to tend to mommy and balance work and everything that's happening. How have you been doing?
Well, to be honest, there have been some days that the schedule gets thrown off. I have been to every doctor's appointment except one. So
You're
I
keeping
have
check. You're keeping check.
I've scheduled them in. The one I couldn't be at is because I was in Trinidad and could not get back to Tobago on time for that appointment. There are some mornings that are just not the best. And there are some days when the complications are a bit scary. Women's health issues is something that certainly post this event I will want to talk about. And we don't usually have men folk talking about women's health issues. And maybe we need to have more of those conversations, especially those surrounding fertility issues and the challenges that come with that. You're talking about the fibroids, the polycystic ovaries, and so on. We need to have more conversations about those things. It also means that in these past 2 months or so, I have had to take on a lot more of the household chores. So because mommy is heavy, mommy is massive at this point, and therefore I have had to take on all the duties in terms of making the groceries, doing most of the preparation of the meals, doing all the running around. Um, there are many days she doesn't feel like driving. So I have had to step in, especially once it's a weekend and I don't have other engagements. So I know that balance will be a challenge for me. One of the things that I've already started doing is that I've already started moving some of the operations of the office to the residence. There is a small office attached to the residence. It's very small and perhaps could accommodate 2 or 3 people at a time. But I'll be using there to do most of the desk work. You know, in finance, we do have quite a lot of desk work that requires my approval, and sign off, and so on. So I'll use here to do the desk work, and I have, and then I just move out to do the larger meetings and meetings with the internal clients of the teaching, meaning the staff and heads of department, have those out of the residence, because the residence, unfortunately, was never constructed to that kind of arrangement. And I'll be the first to be on some paternity leave. So when that happens, I'll take the paternity leave granted legally. Once I am physically in space, no one can really act on my behalf. But Deputy Chief Sec, Dr. Faith B. Israel, has been extremely supportive and kind to take up some of the roles and function. And I can tell you about 2 Wednesdays ago. Wednesdays usually exec council. I came home from finance dinner the Tuesday night, extremely tired, just sick out of nowhere, vomiting, nauseous, dizzy. Like, what's going on here, boy? I said, man, this Wednesday morning I get up, I could barely move. I said, but what kind of craziness? We had a doctor's appointment early that Wednesday morning, went to the doctor. The doctor is laughing at me and saying, well, this is Dr. Myrie, and he's saying, well, it looks like you start to take on some of the symptoms of mommy.
That's right.
That's perfectly
Better
normal.
you than mommy. Better you than mommy.
And he said, that's perfectly normal, that's perfectly normal. You're getting it kind of late. I would have had it earlier on. I said, this is how it feels. This is how it feels. And that day I just had to call Dr. I can't make, I can't make. You just chair the executive meeting for me today, and I'll do the necessaries thereafter. So she has been extremely supportive. But it's a learning curve for the entire public service, because they too have never experienced having a chief secretary with a new baby coming in the mix and what that means. I can tell you the official residence has beds. Your official residence that never had a crib before, and so all of those things we're working out what is required based on the rules of engagement for a chief secretary. But I'm happy to pioneer it, and I'm hoping that this is not the first and only time a chief secretary will have a baby while in office. And we have to just prepare for it. What if we have a female chief secretary who gets pregnant while in office? That's another side of the equation that has to be considered. And again, it just speaks to the progressive nature of Tobago. But God has been extremely good to us as a family and has kept us very sane through all of it. Has kept mommy quite well, and we have managed everything that comes along with it. Ria should have told me that when people get pregnant, there are some emotional days for no reason.
Yeah,
It's just
sorry. Next, I'll let you watch me. But now you know.
but yeah, there are some days you just come home and just vex with the world, but some days tears just come. So why
I'm
are you
sorry.
crying?
Now you know.
Feeling it firsthand. Feeling it firsthand.
First, and, probably the hardest moment was when we travel market. And I really hope Shane over here for World Travel Market. I remember I came in the that day, and she came home early because of course I'm leaving early in the evening, like the flight was sometime after 6 or so. So I came home and I organized the biggest bouquet of flowers I could find in the world. And listen, my girl could not even say a proper goodbye. just tears I walked along from here back to Charlottesville. I said, girl, I'm coming back. I'm going and live. But you know, all of that I'm told comes with the territory.
Yes.
And given that I'm very much responsible for the position that she's in,
Yes. And 100%.
100% responsible. I all that comes along with it is and but it's a beautiful experience. It is absolutely beautiful, and you see wonders of God every day. You know, seeing another human being growing inside another human being, and that comes with that. Childbirth is an absolute miracle.
It
Is
is.
we really have to support our women folk more. Women are less strong, eh? Do any women strong, trust me.
Strong,
Strong.
strong, strong, strong.
I, I don't think God could have made man carry babies at all. Couldn't have made.
No,
Wouldn't have
no.
made.
I think we were selected to support as best as we can.
Yes, that-
We know quite recently, Chief, you introduced, as word of comfort in our news, the Day of Prayer in Tobago. You want to tell us very quickly about the concept that will be happening on a monthly basis? Is it going to be a holiday first of every month? Is it that you're just calling for persons to pray wherever you are? Bring some clarity for us.
So, well, what happened was we had our first town hall meeting, which was well attended in the district of Bethesda, Likoto, right at the Bethesda Multipurpose Center. I mean, like massive turnout. And the second to last speaker that night from the audience, she said to us, she said, calling on you all for us to have a day of prayer for Tobago. We must have a day of prayer every month for the island. And while there, I thought about it and I listened to her. She read from the Psalms. She talked about what she dreamt and what she saw. You know, the elderly. I think the scripture talks about young men seeing vision and the old dreaming dreams and so on. So she said it, and then immediately we agreed. We said, look, it doesn't harm to have a day of prayer every month. In fact, it will help. It will advance our progress to have this day of prayer every month. And no, it won't be a holiday every month. What it will be is that on the first day of every month, wherever you are in Tobago, whatever you're doing, whether you're on the maxi driving to work, whether you are in your car, whether when you wake up in the morning before you leave home, even while you're at your desk in the public service, we're just asking you to whisper a prayer for your island, to keep praying for your island. And you're not praying specifically for Farley, or I mean, well, I will welcome the prayer and love it, but you're praying for your island and that God will continue to have his way on the island across the board. And I agreed then that we should start on the first day of the new year. The first day of the new year happens to be a Sunday, first day of the week, first day of the new year. And I know many people will be at church on that day. So it's even more so a good day to begin this initiative where the first day of every month, Tobagonians, wherever they are reminded to whisper a prayer for their island. This island, for the most part, is Christian. Based on the 2011 statistics, Christianity is perhaps beyond 80% of the population that identifies as Christian. But we do have people belonging to other faiths on the island. We have the Muslims, we have a small Hindu population, a small Baha'i population, led by Dr. Boris there. Um, and we have a Rastafarian Bobo Shanti aspect. We have the Ethiopian Orthodox, and so wherever you are in your faith, we are asking that you just pause for a moment on the first day of every month to remember your island in prayer. We might be guilty of praying for everything else, praying and asking God for more money, for a larger house, a car that doesn't break down, for maybe the children to behave themselves, or to pass the exams, but do we often remember our island in prayer and remember the collective, the entire community in prayer? And it's also an opportunity for us to not be selfish in how we pray and not just pray for our family and pray for good things for the family, but to also remember that there is an entire island that need prayers. The Bible says that the prayers of the righteous avails much. In fact, it goes further in saying that it is the prayers of the righteous that saves the wicked, that saves the land, that heals the nation. And so we are hoping that this island will receive as much healing and blessings come 2023, that this island will experience sufficient success in 2023, that this island will become the leading island in the Caribbean region. And so small as we may be, I believe that we can be mighty. I believe that God can position us to be the greatest little island. I believe that. I've been praying about it. I've prayed and fast about it. And I'm just asking the rest of the island to join me and join the executive as we just whisper a prayer every single month, at least once per month, as a way of us connecting with a source that is higher than us, that is higher than the chief sec, higher than the prime minister, a source that can do things that I can't do, a source that is perfect while I am not, a source that can provide all good things. And above all, we should just remain grateful as an island, thankful for all the blessings we have had. I mean, rain pelt down this island, you know. I don't know if you understand, we have had highest levels of rainfalls in our history, and yet we ain't mash up, as I've seen some places in Trinidad mash up. We were able to keep all our public roads open. We were able to rebuild the Castara road in the space of a week and a half with workers from the Department of Works. Imagine that. We have not had the loss of any lives from flooding or from landslips. Man, we have a lot of things we could thank God for. We came out of COVID, we survived, and we're at a point now where we're saying a whole month passed and no COVID death, 2 months passed and no COVID death. Man, we have things we could be thankful to God for. Thankful. We just did a huge intake of cataract surgeries. A lot of the elderly could see better now. We just need to just keep thanking God. It's important to remember God. And I remember this story where God healed a bunch of men. And you remember, guys, how many returned to tell God thanks? How many out of all of them that actually came back and said thanks to God is always in the minority. And I'm saying, let us not be an island where only a minority says thanks. Let us be an island where the majority of us find time to just tell God thanks wherever you are. And remember, this is not just for people who are Christians, but whatever your faith is, we're saying just talk to God and say thanks.
All right, Mr. Augustine. Now, I mean, we also want to know that as we're thinking about giving thanks and just, being a bit reflective and so on, are we going to see any fruition of the ex gratia payments for
Well,
our
yes.
public servants?
Well, no. Well, remember I indicated in the house that we're working on making payments available before the end of the year, right? I could tell you where it's at now. Up to yesterday, I saw a circular from the chief added to the divisions. Divisions have already begun working because to be honest with you, the task is a lot more than anticipated in terms of collating all the number of employees and ensuring that we miss nobody in this, right? Budget department at finance, we met on Monday. The budget department, we met on Monday, identified the source of the funding, where we're getting the funding from, preparing the necessary line item to pay the monies out of. So all of the statutory requirements are being done as we speak. And so it is my hope that January won't be a hard month. You know, January usually a very hard month for people because they get paid early in December. You spend it out trying to be Santa Claus to the children, and you reach on January morning and you're wondering where again the next penny from to survive the longest month in the calendar of January, the January that never seems to be able to end. This January coming should not be as difficult on Tobagonians. So yes, the public servants have already begun to do the work, do the necessaries in preparing for the ex gratia payments. So it's well on the way. If it is we don't meet the deadline for the end of December, it will be in January for sure because we have started the work, started doing the accounting side of the thing, and ensuring that everything meets the litmus test in terms of what will be required by an auditor general if they are to come and check on these payments. So we're busy at work trying to get it worked out.
I have certainly seen instantly when you spoke about the ex gratia payment that the hearts, the love emoticon, and the praying hands have started going up very
Well,
extensively
and-
on the
well, let
live.
me
So
tell
it
you
is
something.
being warmly. Certainly, persons are praying for that kind of addition.
No, but let me tell you, Julian, when we look at the data, right? Food prices have gone up. So food inflation has skyrocketed and will continue to skyrocket based on reports we have seen coming out of the central bank. Construction costs have oh my lord. The price of steel alone has gone up more than 100%, almost 200%. So those things are, so food going up, construction prices going up, then transportation costs have increased, fuel costs have increased. You look at some households have experienced diminished incomes because you had an instance where some Tobagonians had two jobs, meaning they work for the THA, they have morning work, and then you could go by hotel and work, and you have an additional source of income. Many people lost that additional source of income, but their debt did not go down because they still had debt pegged against their original amount of income. You have in some instances one or two family members not working anymore. They were working before and not working anymore. It's much more difficult to get a PJ, as we call it, a private job, a PJ now than before. So given all of these circumstances, the ex gratia payment comes at a good time that will give families an additional bounce, an additional push going into the new year, to start the new year, 2023. And so it's something that we really want to deliver on so that our workers will know that the THA cares about them. It will help to motivate the public sector, especially, and contracted employees who think that they are mistreated quite often. And let them know we care about their personal lives and their ability to survive all of this. COVID-19 is something we never prepared for, that none of us expected, none of us knew would happen. If you asked me 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, if there will be a time when the world will shut down and we can't do business, we can't even go to church, nothing, and that the oldest member of my church will figure out how to use Zoom, I would never have thought that that would happen, but it did. And so we just have to, and even more reason why we need to give God thanks as often as possible, as a way of saying we recognize what you have done for us. It could have been worse, but thank God it wasn't.
Chiefs, and just as we wrap this morning, we want to say thank you very much for connecting with us here. As some have said to me on Christmas, Adam, seeing that Adam came before Eve. Today, Friday the 23rd of December. And a suggestion for consideration, one of our viewers is indicating for the very first day of prayer on the 1st of January, set a specific time and lock all stations in. When it's done at the same time, it's even more powerful as we get started with this monthly day of prayer. So for the very first one, and that's coming from Hyacinth Leander, for the very first one, the suggestion is, work out with that team and look for kind of locking in a very powerful start to this day of prayer. So that's just a suggestion out there coming from one of our viewers. Yeah. All right, so Chief, we want to thank you very much again for joining us here on the Tobago Updates morning show. And we want to indicate, Chief, we're looking forward to that black cake on Christmas morning. Certainly. Even if you can't stay, just drop off the black cake.
Certainly, certainly.
All right, but that's an open invitation, and it's probably a good time to announce, folks, we've got a special edition coming to you Christmas morning. From 7 a.m. Yes, we're going to be with you. Coming from the Tobago Updates, the entire team, the Tobago Updates morning show. We got excitement here. Folks, my information is we got the activity, we got some entertainment coming to you. We're going to have guests dropping by. The Chief Secretary just made a public commitment
he's going
to bring black cake as well.
Definitely. But Candace and Julian, my favorite part of Christmas morning with you guys is gonna be
pastels for real. I just have ham. Ham is important for me.
Yes, you can. I mean, yeah, ham is probably the best part of Christmas.
So, and we want to taste the Chief's cake that has been soaked, coming from using the foods that have been soaking for 3 years.
So we're certainly looking forward to that, viewers. As a gentle reminder to you, we are going to be coming to you Christmas morning, 7 a.m. Look out for us as we go live for our Christmas morning special edition this year for 2022.
Yes, it's going to be a celebration.
All connecting with you. You can look out for each and every one of us. And certainly you're going to enjoy. You don't want to miss at all. Make sure to connect with us on Christmas morning.
We've got very quickly here our sponsors. We say season's greetings going out to you, to all of our sponsors. Sasha Cosmetics, Joy's Fashion, House of Norma, Phyllis Grant, the Hair and Hair Sanctuary. We say thank you. Mateo's, thank you for your love and support. Just My Size. I think I came kind of close there, Nicole. Nicole, I came kind of close. I've got to say thank you to all of you as well, Julian.
Yes, and I certainly want to extend appreciation as well to Classic Cuts by Aquilon. You see, he ensured that I came by yesterday. Classic Cuts by Aquilon, located there in Susurlands. Want to extend appreciation as well to Rashad's. Rashad's located there in Mount Pleasant, continuing to support. And to Checkpoint, and that's Checkpoint located on Upper Main Street, Scarborough. Viewers, notice how the list of sponsors for a male is much shorter than the list for a female, but we love all our sponsors all together. And we thank you all so much for the continued love and support that you continue to provide for the Tobago Updates and the entire team. We are excited about Christmas morning. I'm excited indeed. Definitely. And I suspect we are seeing, some of the elements here, directors and cameras, with more than just cameras in hand. But we're heading off to start the celebrations.
That particular, he's going to start his own celebration there. That particular
camera 4, right?
Camera 4, thank you, Candace. Yeah, camera 4. All right, because
camera 2 is missing. I suspect he's already out.
And he's trying to encourage us to have a sip of his personal drink, but you know what? I'm not going to take it. Maybe Julian and Candace.
I'm not giving into that.
Julian and Candace, but
I am certain Cassie's always energized and ready to join us there. We'll take a sip of something and we'll give some feedback. But viewers, we thank you so much for the continued love and support indeed. And as I always say, we continue to be #1 because of each and every one of you. All right. And this morning, Candace, are we heading over to GMT this morning?
I believe so.
Candace had that cup from John Arnold as well.
You had a sip of John Arnold's tea.
I have no comments.
All right, viewers. So at this point, we prepare to head on over to GMT, and I say bye to you for now. And we all look forward to connecting with you 7 o'clock on Christmas morning.
Bye-bye.
Welcome. It's Christmas time at Le Mage Parfait Day Spa.
And we invite you to indulge in a range of gift vouchers, gift packages, body pampering services, and more. We can even host your next spa party. With 2 branches conveniently located in Trinidad and Tobago, we look forward to making your experience beautifully unforgettable. Call us today or visit our website, elparfait.com.
Feliz Navidad. Bienvenido a Le Mage Parfait Day Spa.
Spread Christmas joy and cheer with a loan from Lambo Credit Union this year. Get 100% financing for shopping, home renovations, furniture and appliances, debt consolidation and much more. Did we mention no payments until the end of January 2023? Get the most flexible repayment periods and the best interest rates around. Call 639-5060 to book your appointment today. Or visit us on Facebook or Instagram. Wishing you a happy holiday from Lambo Credit Union. And remember, we are always here for you.
Was a while before Christmas, and all through the land, people was putting away house with very little money in hand. They was painting and cleaning and doing their chores, but I went to hunt for deals at American stores. Deals on living and dining room sets, on fridges and stoves, beds and cabinets, on washers and dryers, small appliances cheap, even TVs and stereos, prices just can't be beat. So let's Christmas together at American stores. After all, what they tell me, anything could be yours.
Anything can be yours at American stores.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry, don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry, if your life can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry, don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry, if your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry, if sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry, if times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates. Real questions and honest conversations with the sole aim of keeping you fully in the know. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates. Advertise with Tobago Updates. Call 284-6597. If you have a small or large business, we can get your information in front of the masses. Reach our rapidly growing viewership on Facebook and YouTube. Promote your brand in Trinidad and the Caribbean through M&E TV Now and Gayel. Yes, we can build unique ads for your business. Call now 284-6597 and advertise with us.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region. So the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine. I am Candace Jackson. And well, viewers, we're going to preempt the news for this morning because, of course, it's Christmas Eve. And we are in a bit, well, not Christmas Eve, but it's the eve of Christmas Eve. Or as Julian said earlier, it is Christmas Adam. So, you know, we're just taking it a little bit lighter right now. And we have on set with us none other than some people from the best village in Tobago. and this is not me saying this alone. This was validated by the UNWTO, as you know that they would have been selected to be part of the best tourism village program, which is such a great achievement. So we have on set with us none other than Mr. Brian Taylor, also known as Alibaba. And then we have also Miss Natasha Legal Roberts from the Castara Tourism Association. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us on your program.
So
it's a pleasure being here. Myself and Natasha, we are from the Castara Tourism Development Association. I am the president of the association. And Natasha is one of our directors and also the person who normally spearhead any project that we have within the organization. So we are here just to share our excitement with you about the award that was given to Castara and the people of Castara.
And to just set this up properly so that people really understand this, this is not just best village in Tobago or, you know, best village in the country. We're talking about one of those villages that are going to be known on the world stage as one of the places that one of the communities that you need to come to really experience or really submerge yourself into that whole idea of community tourism. And you know, and that this was a village effort. It had nothing to do with the government, but it all has to do with a village coming together, community members coming together and saying, this is the product we want to establish, and this is what we want to sell to the world, and the world has recognized you.
Yeah. Well, first, we would like to thank UNWTO for choosing us, for giving us this privilege to be part of an upgrade program. You know, we were chosen one of 20 countries for upgrade, and they would have seen, based on our application, they would have seen that we qualify, you know, as a community, and as a community that promotes community-based tourism. We have been practicing it for many years, or 2 or 3 decades. So we sort of know how to go forward and how to manage it. But I would like Ms. Ligol to, you know, she is the one who really mastered the project, so she can give you a bit more details in what we have done in the past.
Okay, good morning again. One of the criteria for being selected was in that the village had to show sustainability.
Yes.
Because you can't have anything, regardless of what you're doing, what you're selling, if it's not sustainable, it is just going to be like a one-off thing. So, just to backtrack a little, we would have gotten a grant from the United Nations Small Grants Program. We had to go to Trinidad, we had to do up the documentation, we went down to Trinidad and we won the grant. That was to conduct a community-based, a community solid and liquid waste reduction program in Castara.
That was about 4 years ago.
That was about 4 years ago. I was the project manager on that. We were able, but even before that program would have been executed, after we won the grant, before the program would have been executed, I would have had to undergo rigorous hours, like things coming out your ears of, guided by we had to go through a rigorous training process where you had to do technical writing, forensic reporting, forensic auditing, forensic audit, financial accounting, and all of that. And then you had to qualify. You had to ensure that you're qualifying that before you could have thing. And then coming out of that, we were successful. We completed that project within budget and before time.
So what was that project that you first completed? Like, what were the details of it?
The details was where we had to reduce, we were reducing, the goal of it was to reduce the amount of styrofoam. And that came about after the previous infrastructure secretary, Mr. Devines, would have taken that motion to the THA to reduce the amount of styrofoam coming on the island. So we took that and as a challenge, and we applied for this grant.
So what did it look like? So, I mean, is it that now you guys are sourcing these biodegradable packaging and so on for your establishments?
Right. Well, coming out of that, we had to show sustainability and all of that. So then we got a shop. To come after that, we had a sustainable shop, and we were able to show that, okay, we will sell these products, but all of that was successful. So the United Nations now, the Small Grants Program now, and before I go to that, we must thank Alyoshe. Alyoshe Watke, he has been a mentor to us. He continued to guide us. He continued to push us. He continued to motivate us just to go beyond that point where we figure I can reach. And he keep, and then when we got this opportunity, it was more rigorous, because then it was like, okay, you do this paperwork and you send it, and Mr. Taylor, Jesse Taylor, he, you know, he always figured that you have that extra that you can push.
Yes.
So you would send something and you say, okay, right. Mr. Taylor would say, no, this could be tweeted. So it's, and then we went through that process. Mr. Taylor was, as I said, Jesse Taylor was instrumental in that. Miss Crystal from the TTAL, and then when we qualified in Tobago, we went to Trinidad now, and Miss Jamila Martin from the Ministry of Tourism, she took over that stewardship, and it has been a step-by-step process. But every process that you qualified for, you had to enhance what you had before to go on to the next level once you qualified at that level. So it meant going back to your village to do some research on culture before I was even an idea to my parents, you know, so before that time. So it entails a lot of research, a lot of going back to how it was, going back to your elders to get how it was even before their time.
Yes.
And by doing that, it also taught us a lot about our village, because you know it's your village, you're born and go there, neighbor string cut, they say if you don't know everything. So it actually enhanced our knowledge of how things used to be in our village. So
now that you've gotten this grant, what can we see? What can we see happening? What can we see improving in Castara? What are those plans that you guys have just to make it even better than it already is?
Well, part of the application, you would have to outline your strengths and your weakness. And therefore, we do have weakness, you know, it's a community. And, but the community itself, the community life itself is very vibrant.
Oh,
and that is what people come for. But the suppliers to tourism, those are the areas where we need to improve. So in terms of protecting our environment, our natural environment, that is one of the key elements that we want to work on. Our reefs, you know, Castara has a very beautiful reef, lots of parrotfishes and turtles. We even have a 40 family stingray that lives in the bay there. So, and it's an attraction for tourists and even locals. The fishermen would feed them when they come back from sea. And they are the ones who look after the stingrays. And the tourists would view that while the fishermen feed them. It's a remarkable thing to look at. We also have our rivers, you know, and we want to minimize the amount of grey water that goes to our river.
Yes.
And then because the shoreline is full of fish larvae, we may not see it, but they are there. Sometimes you walk on the shoreline and you walk on fish larvae, but that's natural. Yeah, but in terms of chemical going to the sea, we have to minimize that. And so these are some of the areas that we're looking to improve on. Also, in terms of our restaurants and our bars, we also, and this is something that probably teacher can step in, where they can help us to improve our service in terms of training people to do housekeeping, bartenders, cooks, you know, because this will bring more people to Castara, and therefore you require a lot more service and service with standard.
Right.
So it's not just from the UN perspective. We are looking at the teacher to support us too. Our road infrastructure needs proper maintenance and upgrading. Some of the main street and also link roads to the main street, they are very deplorable. And therefore, all these are things that we need to have properly sorted. Castara model is a model that can be spread across the island, especially the northeastern part of Tobago.
But what is so remarkable about it is that this is something that is community driven.
Yeah.
Now, and I even know, I mean, I was there a few years ago when a previous THA administration tried to come in and, you know, make it a pilot project, and these guys ran them out. You guys ran them out because, you know, I mean, there was something that special about Castara that you did not want to get lost in that politics. And it is important.
That's true, because we protect our village life with our heart. And that is something that must never be tampered with. And this is what I'm saying. It's just that some of our service areas where we service the tourism needs some upgrading
and it's perhaps one of the best examples of how that the government, what role the government needs to play in supporting communities.
Yeah.
All right. Well, one of the things is, it's not that you don't, as I said when they came, it's not that you don't want the assistance. Now, coming to assist or coming to do something is one thing, but when you want to brand it as THA, that is an issue. Because one thing any person from Castara would tell you, we love our village, we just protect our village. And, you know, most people just ask, what is the Castara product? But basically, the Castara product or the Castara tourism is the people itself, our culture, the way we are, the way we interact with tourists. Because, as I said before, and as I always say, we in Castara, we do not treat tourists as dollar signs. We see them as people coming to have that kind of experience. So you would come into Castara, whether you're a local tourist or not, but within a few minutes, you become a villager. After coming, you become a villager. And I think that is one of the things that make us. So then you don't have to, you know, you see the niche. And then when you have guests that are coming into your space, you know what the requirements are. You know what, after a few days, you would realize that, okay, these persons don't like the loud noise. These persons are more for the calm and the breaking of the beach. So Castara is set in a way where if you love that early morning wave and that type of thing, then you have over on the Heavenly Beach side, over on Little Bay side, where they call Heavenly Beach, where you get up to them, to that thing. So then over there now on a Wednesday night, you will get like drumming, but more cultural stuff. Now if you like the hype and the fast thing, that is the big beach.
Yes.
So over there you have the constant pace and
the bonfires.
but then all in all, you don't get the tourists, they don't get hassled and that type of stuff. So you come in and you become villager. So then basically the Castara, where everybody say the Castara product, it is the people, it is our culture, it is the way we embrace our tourists. We don't see them as a paycheck, we see them as people coming for that experience. And if we can show them our village life, because when you come to Castara, you get a village life experience. And that is what sets us apart from everyone else. We don't monetize the guests.
And what led to that philosophy being adopted by the villagers? That, you know, you're not looking at the tourists as dollar signs, but you're looking at them as just people that you want to share your lives with.
Well, you know, community tourism in Castara started very long time ago, you know, and it has grown over the years. It took us a long time to get the community to really buy into it. Because, you know, coming out of slavery and plantation, many people never really appreciate foreigners. Yes. And a handful of us would have changed that by what we do. And then it has spread through the village. People see you developing yourself because you're getting the tourist dollar. And they say, what? I could do that too. So right now we have a lot of young men and young women who have their own guest house, who have their own restaurant, who are doing their own cooking from their kitchen, and that has spread through the village. And because of that, the villagers have seen the interest and the importance to value their community life, because that is what we're selling.
Yes.
You know, we're selling our community life. So when you come to Castara as a tourist, you know, as Tasha said, we don't see you as a tourist. We don't even say the word tourist there, you know. You are part of the community. And of course, I am a property owner, and I'm a fisherman. I'm a tour guide. I constantly engage with tourists every day, and they would tell you, listen, we come in here because of the people. We love the reef, we love the beach, we love the food. Of course, Castara makes a lovely fish broth and fish soup.
And I
that is
vouch for that fish broth.
Yeah, and you have the clay oven that bakes nice bread. We have 2 clay ovens in Castara, and they bake Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. These are all traditional things that the tourists enjoy. Recently we start cooking a little soup on a Saturday by one of the clay ovens, and the tourists gather there for the little bowl of soup, and they buy the bread and the tart and the drop. These are the simple things that make people come back. This experience, you get that nowhere else.
Certainly.
And so we don't have much to change. It's just that some service
Just to make it better. Just to make it better.
But what I'm saying too, in order to make this thing great, we have to spread this community thing across the Northeast.
Right.
Palatove have a good chance. Charlottesville have a good chance. Speyside have a good chance. Even Roxborough and all could develop community-based tourism, and that will help the whole North. That will propel Tobago so far.
And we're going to get some more into that conversation in a little bit. But viewers, we're just going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to get into some more Castara goodness.
Welcome to Lamarge Parfait Day Spa and Wellness Center, your premier spa experience located at Bonaccord, Tobago. Visit us today for facials, cellulite treatments, body contours, body treatments, pedicures, manicures, and much more. We have gift cards for all occasions and corporate events. Connect with us on Facebook at Lamarge Parfait Day Spa or call us 273-7772.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago, and viewers, we are continuing our conversation with Castara. But before we continue, I just want to, by way of a public service announcement from WASA, as we're talking about Castara, we're getting reports that there are repairs going on to 2 leaks along the North Side Road, and it will be affecting the villages of Castara and Palatove. So for those of you in those communities and who are hoping to have water to get your Christmas cleaning done, well, WASA is working. They said it's unexpected, and they're hoping to have it completed by 6 p.m. today. So hopefully they can stick to that timeline.
That's not a problem.
That's usual.
We could survive on that.
That's usual, they say. No, I mean, and as we're talking about Christmas, I was talking about Castara. Tell me about Christmas in Castara. And I think that's how we could wrap things up this morning.
All right. Oh, Christmas in Castara, in my view, is pure joy. Pure joy. Christmas morning, Christmas, you lime, your Parangama house, your thing, but then they have the fellas that do the kite flying competition up on top of the cemetery, and for me, it's a joyous time.
It's Castara has always celebrated Christmas in a big way. Kite flying is a big thing there. We don't really enter competition on the outside, but the village itself, the young men in the village will make the kites. Small now, we have bursting of the bamboo, and we have Christmas Eve night. Various areas in the community, people will be cooking their pot of pork and dumpling and all of that. And then at
pork
the end,
and dumpling
on
Christmas.
Christmas Eve night, yes. And that will turn out into a parang. You check in all your friends' house and all of that. So and then the tourists get involved in it too. They love it, you know. They never experience that. And so we have tourists who come here just only for Christmas time, just to get into that action.
And just to enjoy it, you see, Castara is a unique place. It's a unique place.
Certainly.
We love a village. Bottom line, any Castarian, we love a village. When we village, even if we're not living there, when we village need we there for a village. When we village looking threatened, we're standing for a village. We're going in and we're defending the village. Castara is a place where one of the things that the tourists gets appreciate is that you would come in, they might go to a bonfire, might be even on the beach liming, and you might be liming with, say, 4 locals. But the unique thing about that is you alone not spending. So if you're liming with 4 locals, you might even be by Chino's Cafe, you're liming. Yes, you are the guest, but then everybody buying their rounds.
Yes.
So then you're not just taking. We are a village that love to give. We are also a village that we call each other out on our flaws. But yet, we call each other out on our flaws, but next 2 minutes we buy your door begging for something. And these are things that amaze our guests. These are things that the guests they love it. And then one thing the guests appreciate is that, okay, you come into the space, you might have stayed, like I said, when you come, within short time, you're a villager, whatever coming out of your landlord kitchen usually goes in your belly. You go out on the bed and fellas roasting fish, you're eating. But one of the things that I think the guests appreciate is that you may not have come back for 3-4 years, but when you comes back, a local person and say, hey, John, you come back?
Yes.
And that thing that, okay, yes, I'm a tourist. I come from Denmark. I ain't come here for the last 4 years. How do I remember my name? But it's not that, and that is the key. We don't see them as a paycheck. We don't see them as dollar sign. We look at them as people coming for that experience. And the people of Castara is actually our tourism, is the tourism product itself. It's our culture. So you get a village life experience, and that is what embracing tourists, and that is what kind of give us that edge.
Great.
Because we welcome them and then we immerse them into our culture and our way of life.
All right.
By the way, every Christmas morning, one of our local restaurants provide dinner for the guests. They have a Christmas dinner. And also, I think you can get breakfast by the coffee shop. Chino's, the best coconut bake in the whole of Trinidad and Tobago.
Chino's coffee shop. Yes. Chino's cafe, Chino's cafe.
Yeah.
And they have some good coffee shakes.
Yeah.
All right, Amina, thank you both for being on with us. I mean, it's just wonderful to hear about Castara, and as wonderful as it is to hear about Castara, it's even more amazing to actually be in Castara.
Yes.
And seeing as how we have a very long Christmas weekend, I think we should all take some time and go and just experience.
And one thing we must mention. When it comes to entertaining and being just being friendly and being thing. When you come in, you see, we have, well, Miss Derek Lopez, porridge. I don't know, he's just everything. He's just everything, you know. He makes the guests feel welcome. He makes them feel loved. Actually feel, so yeah, again, it's our culture. We love our village, and we does this, everything is voluntary, but we love our village, and it's all for love of village.
And I mean, what better time than Christmas time to appreciate that love and just bask in it. All right, I want to thank you again so much for being on with us. And I mean, we're going to be having more interactions with you in the coming year as we see how this project from the UNWTO gets implemented and gets fulfilled. And we're just really excited, and we celebrate you all. Yeah. So Merry Christmas, good viewers. And viewers,
for having us.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Yeah.
Well, viewers, we were not quite done yet. We just have one more little thing for you. So please don't go anywhere, and we'll be back after this quick break. Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules, or if you are having a cooking day off.
Boxing Night at Shaw Park is back.
Yes.
On Boxing Night, we head to Electric Avenue.
Electric Avenue at the Shaw Park complex.
This is your slice of nostalgia.
It's time to reminisce.
Dance the night away.
And make some new memories.
Enjoy a full-length performance by General Grant.
Yo, this is your boy General Grant. Picking up all the massive them. Electric Avenue, 26th of December. Boxing Day, I'm coming. Bye.
General Grant.
General Grant.
Now stand tall.
Boxing Night.
They shot call. Hit the dance on the shot call. Groove to the sounds of foreign bass.
007 and Angel Journey.
Funkmaster K and more.
Limited tickets available.
Get yours by calling
734-2299,
798-6798, 293-6698
or 336-8670.
Electric Avenue, Boxing Night, Shaw Park Complex. We reminisce.
It's electric.
Ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. And yes, viewers, we are continuing our conversation. We're almost to the end of the show. But before we go, we're going to be speaking with Miss Kizzy Daniel of Zigzag Promotions, who is going to be telling us about something we can relax and have some fun too. Good morning and welcome to you.
Hi, good morning, Candice. How are you this morning?
I am great. So, tell me about this back in times, Electric Avenue kind of thing that we have happening.
Yes, we're trying to bring back this tradition of boxing nights at Shaw Park Complex. So we are having a back in times at Shaw Park Complex on the 26th of December, boxing night, back in times. So come out and dance. Right, we're also having General Grant and Rocky, so it's going to be a great experience.
Now, for those viewers who might be on the younger side and not be aware of this tradition,
yes,
give me some background on that tradition.
Well, usually when you talk about boxing night in Tobago, you usually think about Shaw Park Complex. That was before we had the complex.
That was when it was just basically
a Shaw Park. Yeah. Yes, yes. So that has gone away, so we're now trying to bring that back.
After how much years?
Well, a lot of years. I can't give you the exact figure, but a lot of years. So we're trying to bring back this tradition, so we want to do it every year from now on.
Mm-hmm. And then, so give me an idea of what we can expect. I mean, what is the vibe you're trying to create?
Well, we want to have a more mature audience. So what Zigzag is promotion is really trying to do is have things for that mature audience to do on a regular basis, not just this event, but other events coming in the new year.
Right.
Yeah.
And give me an idea of, what are tickets like? How can people go and get their tickets?
Well, tickets are $250, and you can get it at the box office, or you can get it from any committee member, right? And we have a lot of giveaways. So you have to have a ticket in hand in order to qualify for these giveaways. So make sure you have your ticket in hand. Don't feel any night you can come and buy a ticket. You can come and purchase your ticket, but you will not qualify for the giveaways that we have on that night.
Wait, so hold up. So you're not getting the giveaways if you buy tickets at the door. You have to buy a ticket in advance.
You have to buy a ticket in advance. And we have bottles, we have hampers, we even have a cruise by Top Catch Catamaran. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So you can qualify for a lot of those, but you have to have your ticket in hand. You have to have your ticket in advance in order to qualify.
So why should people take some time out of their long Christmas weekend to come out to this Back in Times?
Well, it's a chance to relax, to mingle, to socialize, and have a good time after working so hard, probably at home and working so hard throughout the year. It's a time to relax and socialize. And we also have some top DJs, Angel Journey, 007. We also have Foreign Bass and Funk Master Key and others.
And just bringing back that whole Tobago traditions and, that whole vibes.
Yeah, just come and relax, enjoy yourself, dance away the night.
Great.
Yes.
So, and just for those viewers who are listening, I'm just wondering again, where can they get their tickets? How can they get their tickets? Is there a number to contact?
Sure. You can get your tickets at the box office, at the Shore Park box office. And the numbers are 734-2299, 798-6798, 293-6698, 336-8670. And also, some of our sponsors are Penny Savers Supermarket, Holiday Foods, Bermuda's, Tobago Housing Resorts Limited, Exhale Spa, Accent Structures, Top Catch Tours and Charters.
All right, great. I want to thank you so much, Kizzy. I just actually ended up a little bit shorter. But before we go, let's talk about Christmas a little bit. What are some of your Christmas traditions and what are some of your things that you like about Christmas?
Oh, well, my Christmas tradition is really work, 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 because I'm a caterer. And around this time, it's pastels, it's black cake, it's sponge cake, it's bread. So I don't have a lot of time, or I try to do my work in advance, right? So that's how I usually spend my Christmas. So Christmas Day is actually my relaxing day. I don't want to cook and all of that. Somebody should invite me home for lunch on Christmas Day. Yeah, that's how my Christmas is spent.
Nice. And do you have any special wishes for Tobago for Christmas as we're getting ready to wrap?
Oh, yes. I want more peace, more love, Tobago to get back to that traditional way. That's what I wish for Tobago.
All right, great. And of course, one of the traditions we're talking about is that Back in Times.
That Boxing Night Back in Times event.
All right, viewers, so you don't want to miss it. If you just want a taste of the old school things, there's something about the music from those eras that are just so nostalgic. It's different from what we have now. I think it's more meaningful.
Yes. Yes.
So if you just want to just immerse yourself into that and just reminisce and just
dance the night away.
Dance the night away. So viewers, like I said, we have a very long weekend. We have, of course, tomorrow, Saturday is Christmas Eve. Christmas Day is on Sunday. Boxing Day is on Monday. So Monday night. And then, Tuesday is a holiday too. Because we are Trinidad and Tobago and we just like holidays.
Every day is a holiday.
Listen, we need the holiday. We need the break. Yes. I know I certainly do. So I am just looking forward for that break. So, yeah.
So, Candice, thank you for having me. And I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. And I hope to see you all on Boxing Night, 9 p.m. sharp.
At the Shore Park Cultural Complex.
Shore Park Cultural Complex. Thank you.
All right, great. And viewers, that's how we're going to wrap the show this morning. It's been such a pleasure being with you. I love being here and just, sharing everything that's going on and giving you those updates. Of course, only with Tobago Updates, you will get the real updates of what's happening in Tobago. So from us here at the Tobago Updates team, we just want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. Please be safe. Viewers, also be warned that, we are at an orange level alert for the sea. And I know a lot of us, I included, we like to go and take a little sea bath around Christmas time, at one of the days. But it might be better to not go in because it's not going to be nice. The water is going to be extremely rough. And we've had 2 drownings occurring in Trinidad recently, but we don't want any of that in Tobago. We don't want any of that here happening in Tobago. So please take your precautions. If you're going to the beach, just stay on the shore. Dip your feet in the water, but I would recommend staying out of the water. And of course, this is from Adventurous Candace, who likes to go out and do crazy things. But yes, be safe. Most importantly, have a very Merry Christmas. God bless you, and we will see you again on. Well, actually, no, we're going to see you on Christmas Day and then on Wednesday. So have a wonderful time, viewers, and take care.
Updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denicia.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong.